What is up, YouTube? My name is Eben, and today on The Edge we're going to look at a card that's got what you might call a preponderance of evidence in terms of ways to use it, and that is Shrine of Memories. This often forgotten stadium is basically just the ability for all your evolved Pokemon, well, all evolved Pokemon, period, to use the attacks of their previous forms, which is a pretty useful ability when you think about it. It just kind of depends on what Pokemon you run. I mean, obviously you can run it with a lot of, regular sort of everyday Pokemon who might have previous evolutions with attacks like, say, Flail that deal damage based on your damage counters, which with more HP could be more productive, or you might be able to use a previous form's attack that might draw you cards in a pinch. But I think we can do a little bit better than that. In an era of stadium wars, sometimes the deck you build doesn't necessarily have a specific stadium that's calling out to you that needs to be run. And when that happens, to compete with other stadiums just to get rid of your opponent's advantage of having their stadium, you're almost obliged, at least for now, to run some stadium of your own. And this one actually has a lot of potential applications. Think about, for example, running, say, Mega Manectric, who would love to have access to his previous form's attacks. I mean, if he has access to Assault Laser, he can deal 120 instead of 110, which could be a very important difference, especially with, say, 230-point Megas out there. And the ability to hit benched Pokemon with Overrun for 20 damage, that could be very useful too. And let's not forget, say, Mega Gallade, whose previous form has Piercing Prizes, a potentially very high damage attack, or could even force an opponent to switch with his first attack. And then there are less commonly thought of ones, like Mega Latios, who might not always want to discard 2 energies to his attack, instead might just want the straight up damage of his previous form's basic attack for 110. Or say Mega Rayquaza, who also might not want to discard 2 energies just to attack. If something smaller comes up to chump block him, and you can't force it out with Lysander, or have a Versus Seeker to get the Lysander to do so, then you might just want to hit them for, say, 100 or 60 with his previous form's attack. And there are other Megas too, like Mega Gengar. There might not always be something worth copying from your opponent, or at least not copying against them particularly, and it would be nice to have an attack of his own, or maybe an attack that could deal some damage and then retreat him to the bench for free, like his previous form's Dark Corridor attack, for instance. In fact, I think it's fair to say that Shrine of Memories is basically good for almost all the Megas. While not every Mega benefits from it, it's something you can consider as an alternative stadium in decks where you have Megas but don't necessarily have something else you absolutely have to run. And as more and more Megas get printed every set, and with more and more Megas as promos, the usefulness of this card just grows and grows, as there are some cards that just get better and better with time, and this is certainly one of them. And, of course, there are lots of non-Mega Pokemon that can also potentially benefit from Shrine of Memories, so it's definitely a card to keep your eye on as time goes on. And until next time, like, comment, subscribe, check me out on Twitter if you haven't, link is below down in the description, and I will see you next time.